What's most important to remember is that meditation is not some very complex skill that we need to attain. Meditation is actually that which gets us back in touch with who we really are, but without the judgment, without the analysis. Meditation is that which creates the stillness in the mind so that we're able to actually live and experience the truth of who we are. Because the problem is not outside, the problem is inside. And it's not that we are a problem, it's just that we have these minds, and these minds do what minds do, which is they run around and they repeat stories to us, stories that we've taken in from our culture, stories we've taken in from our life, that judging, commentating voice and figure and stories. You're too much this, you're not enough that, you are like this, you're not like that, you should be like this, you shouldn't be like that. And we internalize that, and that's what most of us hear all day long. If you actually really start to listen to your thoughts, what you notice is that the vast majority of them are just utterly useless. They make absolutely no sense. I mean, those of us who consider ourselves intelligent, thoughtful beings, there's nothing quite as humbling as actually watching your thoughts. Because most of us, if you haven't done that, you think, oh yeah, I think very deep thoughts, and I'm very contemplative, and most of us just aren't. The mind just does its thing. It's like running on static most of the time. And then, of course, in the midst of that static, in the midst of that monkey mind that they call it, which is just aimless jumping around, in the midst of that is that judge telling us who we are and who we should be. And that's what fills most of our minds most of the time. And then, of course, comes in who others are, who they should be, what they're doing, what they should do, and all of that stuff that fills our minds and fills our thoughts. And it's not who we are. It's just what our mind does. Rather, what our mind has been habituated to do. And what meditation really does is it gives us that first experience of, well, what would it be like? What would it be like to be me if this weren't going on all the time? And so it's not a very complex skill. But the lack of complexity doesn't mean it's easy. Simple and easy are not synonymous. So meditation is simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy because of the games that the mind plays. But it is simple. And the reason that I'm emphasizing this over and over again is many of you are here for just a night. Many of you I know have been here but are leaving. And you shouldn't think that unless you've got lots and lots and lots of time to learn a very complex skill of meditation, that you're not going to get it. If you're able to just literally breathe it out, as it comes, whatever it is that comes, just breathe it out. And keep bringing the awareness back to the breath. Back to the breath. And if you can get it in this place just below the navel, it's actually a very, very special energy center and a special chakra. I'm not going to go into all of that now, but it's considered in many cases, in many ways, the core, the base of the self. And it's a place that many saints and sages meditate from. So resting here, connecting here, grounds us back in who we are, because otherwise most of us tend to be just flying around. We're reacting instead of acting. Who I am is determined by what's happening around me. Somebody says something, I react. Somebody does something, I react. I do this, I don't do this, whatever it is. So the nature of who I am tends to exist usually on this very superficial level, just in how I'm reacting to the world around me. But what meditation does is it brings us back into a place of real awareness. Awareness without judging, awareness without analyzing, but just open-eyed witness awareness of who we are. And what's there if I remove the rest? So you're able to peel back layers and layers, and there's so many different techniques, but I purposely keep it, especially in a situation like this, really simple, because you shouldn't think, oh wait, I didn't understand all of that, I didn't get that, now I'm never going to be able to do it. If you can just keep the awareness on the breath, keep bringing it back, bringing it back, bringing it back, it's actually enough. You can add in a mantra, a simple mantra. You can add in open-eyed meditation if you want. If every time the eyes close, the mind jumps around so much that nothing else is possible, keep the eyes open for a while. Watch a candle flame. Look at an image of the divine, an image that evokes feelings of divinity in you. And while you do that, just keep bringing the awareness back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath. And in the body, the breath in the body. There are as we breathe, you'll notice there are places that are tighter, places that are freer. And again, we're not analyzing. It's not, oh, it's tight there because, oh yeah, I remember my brother kicked me there. That's why it's tight. And yeah, my God, I can't believe it. I've never forgiven him. And so we went from breathing to our brother. Anger at the brother. It's not psychotherapy. Psychotherapy is great. It's what I studied. I've got an academic history in it, but it's not meditation. So in meditation, we're not analyzing why it's stuck, where it's stuck. We're just noticing that the body is a very fluid container for the breath. So it simultaneously puts us in the body and yet connects us to something that's not just outside, but that's outside and inside, that entire creation, that entire spirit or soul or divine universe or whatever word we want to use for it, connects us to that while rooting us in the breath and back in our bodies. Because as we all know, any tree that grows, well, you can't grow very far unless the roots are very strong.